What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle. Let's go, Wayno and academics here. We're trying to work on our contingency plan. Are we going to FaceTime in and do the show if we really need to? We got to talk to HR today.
Shit, I'm trying to get my fucking portable coronavirus test that I can test y'all motherfuckers. I don't know. I heard Wayno cough one time in the green room, man. I don't know what's going on around here.
I'm not scared of that shit.
Listen, you know, this is why you can't get your education from Twitter. You know niggas was saying, niggas don't get this shit, bro.
No, listen.
Like, come on
I
now.
knew. This is what I knew.
I said, a nigga immune virus.
I said that
we're immune till we get it.
A lot of black people gonna be like, man, I don't know a nigga that ever caught that. Like, I'm good. Like, that's gonna be the first thing. Like, nobody I know got that shit. I'm straight.
Yeah.
All right, so this is technically not funny. We shouldn't be laughing about this. It's serious, but also we don't want to panic. People are really panicking in New York. You can't even buy hand sanitizer. It's really sold out at every store. It's really gone. It's crazy.
I come to Jersey.
People think that hand sanitizer is gonna save them.
Yo, allegedly,
the
actually
only
works.
advice they're giving people is wash your hands.
It kills the virus.
Like, they're not even like,
wash your hands for 20 seconds.
Those are the signs in the complex bathroom.
Yes,
very specific instructions. Don't
wash
forget the tops of your hands.
Seconds.
Now, we are kind of really ignorant to this. Like, first of all, you know, like, I mean, the reason that Corona, like the beer, is actually like sales is like down half, like what it used to be. You can tell people are so fucking ignorant to like
marketing.
Oh, I didn't realize
people
that.
are so ignorant to what this virus is. Like, I thought it was airborne mostly. No. Yeah. So what does washing your hands got to do with a nigga coughing?
So basically, if someone like coughs or sneezes and the droplets get in your eyes, mouth, you know, whatever, you get it. And also, if you touch something that the virus is on and then touch your face and get it in there. So don't touch your face a lot. Wash your hands. Hand sanitizer does kill the virus.
If a nigga sneezes in your mouth, he's way too close.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying, like, if somebody sneezes in your eyes, like, I don't take public transportation, so I'm not.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. I do feel like some of these motherfuckers who went overseas. That's why all y'all overseas going.
Oh my God.
Okay?
Stop shaming people.
But for real though, I do think some of them know they got it, but they're not even telling people, yo. Real talk. Like, if you know you got it, you want to.
Okay, see, he's part of the problem. Sometimes they say you could have it for a few days and not even have symptoms. Look, people are canceling shows. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah. Like, Stormzy and other artists are canceling shows in Asia. Unfortunately, it's not good for fans, for anyone. But we got to stay safe out here. And
it's heavy. People have been very heavy on the discrimination with this as well.
Yeah, I'm here to rep for my Asian community, man. Yo, we love the Asian people, man. Y'all got to stop blaming all of them on for this nonsense going on. They're victims too. That's all I'm here to say. Okay, that's all I came here to say.
Act the man of the man.
What did you say last night in the group chat? Act cares about the community.
I really out here caring for the community, man.
Oh man.
I don't know how accurate that is, but let's move on.
There's 2 people in New York already. There ain't nobody in Jersey.
No, there's one confirmed case in
Jersey?
Jersey. Yes.
Jersey's a big state, though.
Gotta be where Wayno live.
It doesn't get to the gated community. Oh man. All right, so we had Jadakiss on yesterday. Talked about his new project, Ignatius, and also about, you know, the industry, what he's been through as an artist, advice you would give to younger artists. And earlier this week, we were talking about Megan Thee Stallion having issues with her label, 1501 Entertainment. So she said they were stopping her from releasing music because she wanted to restructure her contract. So the CEO is speaking out about this. So he did an interview with Billboard, Carl Crawford, and basically said she has so many holes in her story, it's almost on some delusional type stuff. He said she basically signed that management deal with Roc Nation last August and then decided she didn't want to pay anymore. On Roc Nation specifically, he said their real plan was to get you out of my contract so they can sign you. We gave this girl a 60-40 split. She got parts of her master's first time. Do you think Jay-Z would have given her parts of her master's on her first deal with Roc Nation? No. So she did get a temporary restraining order. She's dropping a project this Friday called Sugar. But are you guys surprised that Crawford is, speaking up about this?
I'm not. You know, I was telling Wayno, I was surprised that if you're not guilty, you're gonna speak up. You know what? I look at Carl Crawford. By the way, the history of this guy is that he's a baseball player. He made an upwards of $140 million, probably with endorsement, maybe $200 million in his professional baseball career. Gets that money now. It's after baseball for him. He's invested in a lot of things, real estate, and, you know, he wants to try his hand at music. Again, I think this is his first success with Meg, that with anyone, you know, in the music business, you can't take shit personally, and you're gonna take it personally at first because it's your money. You get me? And you can't just chalk it up to like, okay, the game is the game, until you get a little bit jaded later on. I think he was really offended. That's why I was saying I was always wondering, like, where the hell is DJ Drama and Don Cannon when Uzi like basically slandering their name? I believed him with pretty much most of what he was saying. In terms of his defense, he gave more clarity to shit, because you have people on social media who jumped out there not only on what Meg said, but what the TMZ report said when she filed her lawsuit, basically proclaiming it as the worst deal that was ever signed in the history of humanity. And when you hear his explanation, you hear also the type of deals. And I do think, the regular fan, this is why it works consistently with artists being able to persuade them and sway them to their side. They don't understand, like, a record contract for an artist that's relatively unproven, that nobody knows, that you're probably going to invest $1 or $2 million. Like, some of these motherfuckers want to make $1 or $2 million in their whole life. So for someone to actually invest $2 million into you, if you think that they're gonna get a 5% split and you get 90 and you just go ahead and just have a great old time, get 100,000 per show and don't even give them a dime back, I don't know what type of deluded reality those people are living in. From what he said, and I'm gonna rock with him more because she opened a can of worms for me.
Right.
Too much information. Once you start giving us information, now you better continue.
Right.
Because he went further with the information, and the further he went with the information, showing how much he invested, how much he was taking a loss at first, now she blew up, now how much she's making, the fact that she hasn't paid him for a really long time, that he could even recoup, right? The fact that the whole narrative of, oh, he doesn't want to negotiate, but according to him, Roc Nation came in with her to say, here's the only renegotiation we want to do.
So it's good that he's giving all of this clarity, but do you think that's actually resonating with the average fan? Are they taking in this information?
The fans, they're only worried about their artists, right? They're only worried about their favorite artists. But back to what Ak was saying, like even with the Uzi shit, we always, public opinion, like the court of public opinion. Jadakiss said yesterday, like, I hate when shit like that gets out. So it's like, okay, if Uzi is being vocal about it, maybe DJ and Drama and them don't want to put their business out there. Her biggest problem is I don't think she really understands what she signed to. I think that she was just emotional about it, and she's very young. Like even with Carl, do I think that Carl should have got out there and spoke everything? I don't, but at the same time, he's not he has to defend himself, but the reason why he defended himself so quick in the public is because he's not a music person. He's an athlete. So yeah, as an athlete, you're gonna defend, like athletes usually defend themselves, in media when something's alleged against them. For artists, it's totally different. The music is totally different. It's tons of shit that happens like this all year round, and people don't know about it because it's kept quiet, because you don't want to ruin your artist's stuff, and you don't want to mess up your money. Thing with Carl is, why wouldn't Carl want her to do her thing? If the better she is, the more money he makes. So it's not like he's putting himself in a bad position. I just think that like with Megan, she should have just not said anything. Like this doesn't benefit her at all. Like it really doesn't benefit her. I think.
Well, in terms of benefiting her, maybe in, like, she's probably one of the few artists in recent history that got backlash on trying to get a free whoever campaign. Usually fans just ride with you just blindly because they're usually just, like, we don't know anything else, right? But I think she said a few things that really set herself up. Yeah, I was kind of young. I ain't read the contract. Like, what the fuck? We ain't gonna feel bad for you for that.
Right.
Like shit, we watch all them little documentaries on Lifetime. What was it, TLC and all them little groups that got finessed back in the 90s. We ain't about to feel bad for you in 2020. Get out of here. You ain't reading contracts.
She also says something, I think it was a tweet where she said something about signing something like, I would never sign something that I wouldn't agree with, but this was an old tweet. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, she looks bad in this instance, but this shit happens all the time. Right. I don't know what she wanted to accomplish. And Carl Crawford is right. It's like no up-and-coming artist, unless you walk in with leverage, comes in and says, yo, I'm getting all my masses. That it just doesn't work. It's a leverage competition. Like, and no, everybody doesn't always get what they want. They come as close as they can to make an agreement. I don't understand like why everybody, and there's a ton of people that saying, oh, this is wrong. And I see artists jumping out the window too, saying shit about like, oh yeah, like that's all people do, because they don't know what the fuck they signed to, because they're not taking the due diligence and the time to really learn anything. I always say it's nobody's business to teach you business. If I put you in a business situation, you then got to go out and get your own fucking information. Like, I give a lot of information up, but you want me to do that and facilitate shit for you? It's like,
let me bring up this angle. What? This is where I would say, just pan to me, Lee Wayne.
Okay, what? You about to say something stupid.
The Jay-Z angle, seriously, because everything I also said about Roc Nation, I said they seem like they're in the business of just poaching artists. We've seen this 3 times. Wayne, Uzi, in another situation where if they usually start off by sliding in the management position. By the way, if you hear the story of what Carl Crawford said, he looks like the victim, if anything. One of the people who he hired to, help out on some managerial stuff with her, basically said, hey, listen, we're going to go visit Roc Nation. We'll be back. He said, do I need to come? He's like, nah, everything's cool. Asked him what happened. Oh, yeah, he just showed us around the building. 2 months later, oh, yeah, we're out of here. I'm quitting. She's leaving. We're about to go get managed by them. So, okay, all right, so the management stuff is all over Roc Nation. Now you see there's stuff happening where they want to now renegotiate the contract, where basically is either you bend your, like he's promised 4 albums. They want him to instantly drop it to 1 more, right? So now they're trying to get her off of your label, right? So it's some strong arm tactics. And again, if you look at Uzi and Wayne, Jay-Z, who's someone who I've watched, and again, it's probably very unfair to me to point. Roc Nation is a company. It's not Jay-Z there like, yo, let's do this, right? But he is one of the people who preach, like really taking, he's one of the guys who has used because we look alike and because we're people of color, we're supposed to be doing certain things in the music industry rather than some of these other people. Right. And by large in part, the people who he's trying to poach their artists, Birdman, Black, Carl Crawford, he's a person of color, you get me? Uzi with DJ Drama and Don Cannon, people of color. He only going at people of color. Go get somebody who Lucian Grange got. Go get somebody who the white executive or a Warner got.
Well, I will agree with academics is.
I'm just saying.
Because everybody acts like, I got a Roc Nation check in my pocket, which I don't.
She ain't getting confiscated today. Watch your words.
Stop it. No, seriously though. We joked about it, but I said if this was free agency, they'd have been fined for tampering. I think that I don't think it's a bad thing for them to want to come in and help, but I do think that like for Carl Crawford, a lot of people hit me up like on social media saying like, yo, if that's the label, why should he be able to say who manages her? It's not about should he be able to say. He's a part of the business, so he does have a say-so. So that means like, okay, if I'm Carl Crawford, I wouldn't be mad at you going to Roc Nation. I'm just saying like include me in the conversation so that we all doing business together. Right. That's why I feel like is the fucked up part. And I don't know like on their side if they never told him that or if like we don't know who's trying to be sneaky. I just know that for the most part, she signed to 1501 and your loyalty should be to 1501 when it's time to do business outside of 1501. Like you should be coming to call like, yo, I'm thinking about this, whether it was Roc Nation or any other management group, Blueprint, whomever. You should be consulting with him because that's the person that believed in you from the start. Whether we break it down to the deal and the terms or whatever, when you was trying to get on, that's the nigga that put up his bag for you.
And that's why I think it's almost an attempted silent coup in terms of like, it's a takeover almost. Like we're trying to, the management thing, because again, there's so many different arms of Roc Nation. The management thing is really a means to get to having you on the label. Right. Because if you got to go back to history with the Wayne situation. I was wondering how that was going to play out. Universal coughed up a check. Birdman didn't do it. Universal did it. But they wanted to keep that asset as Wayne. So Wayne is not signed to Roc Nation, right? It's a lot of market value to secure with having Wayne still on your roster. Right. A lot of catalog, a lot of everything, right? And then you see Uzi, a very hot up-and-coming artist who has a very highly anticipated project. Whatever the situation, which I still personally don't know the full situation with that, I could imagine Drama and Don Cannon is fighting to the, like, I haven't seen lawsuits fly, or maybe just we're not paying attention. Maybe they have.
They're working it out. I believe that they're working it out. I mean, like,
but all those things come into play. I just look at this as Meg. I understand Meg in one sense. She wants to put out music.
Right.
But I think when she did that video, she crossed a few lines where she was trying to demonize the people she was signed to, not acknowledging that it is because of some of the things that she has done that's caused that strained relationship.
So with all of that in mind, let's just answer this fan question. Hey, Everyday Struggle, what do you think is the hardest thing a record label owner has to deal with? And I think for the purposes of this question, we've talked about sort of bigger companies that are faceless. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about where there's a face. There's a Birdman or a Carl Crawford
or
that you can see.
Cool.
is it the hardest thing dealing with fallouts like this?
The hardest thing is public perception. Public perception, because, the fan isn't privy to all of it. And even when they do get the contract, they still don't understand it. Like, they'll see a contract and they say 60-40. They just looking at numbers because people know how to count. Other than that, they don't know the terms or anything. The public perception, because on one side, when you get defensive, people say, why are you being so defensive? You must be lying. No, I'm just trying to defend myself. On the other side, if you do go out there and speak, then it's like, damn, you shouldn't have said nothing because maybe we could have fixed this. I think like just the battle of public perception of your company, because like Ax said before, like if with 1501, I don't want just Meg. I want the next Meg. I want the next whomever. I want to keep bringing people in.
And so if artists see this, they're scared to sign with you.
Yeah, or they gonna automatically say, oh, you're a bad guy, based on one person's situation. Each deal is catered to one person and their situation and what's going on. It's not the same for everybody, but it does change like the perception of the brand.
That's why I think Meek Mill even said, hey, listen, yo, I think that's what he said about signing. And I know he kind of used the people of color thing, but there's a stigma to say, you sign to another artist, trust me, you ain't never gonna be as big as that artist. And I think he's trying to like overcome a couple of those stigmas, because he's trying to get his thing going on. But there's a lot of stigmas, like these things make stigmas happen, right? When you have artists come out and be like, yo, whatever y'all do never sign to another artist.
Yeah.
Young artists take that and be like, all right, bet. All right, cool, rather sign to him, I'm gonna try to wait a little bit and sign to the label.
But you know it's also crazy too. It's like, just in business, like it like LeBron, right? I just give LeBron as an example. Like, okay, when he was a kid, he signed that deal with Nike for $90 million, right? And then and the slave, I'm thinking about this slave contract thing, right? In the 7 years, it was a 7-year contract, I believe. In 7 years, he generated like $3 billion for Nike. He only got 90, right? So it's like, does he not sign with Nike? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that people got to realize more that a lot of these signings are more of an opportunity. Yeah, it's not always in the artist's favor, and you get what you negotiate, right? It's not always going to be in your favor, but you got to look at the opportunity. You want to do a lot of things, and you might not have the capital or the money to do it. You want to go to somebody. Once you go to somebody to sign with them, you can't think that, oh, they making money off of me. Yeah, you wanted money to help me, to help yourself work. Right. So why is it fair for only you to get money but nobody else can? Everybody can do a job, everybody can contribute to who the artist is and becomes, but you're the only person that deserves the line. Like, you the only person that deserves anything off of it, or you deserve the most, but everybody put something into it?
I'm glad Wayne brought that up, and quickly before we get to the next fan question. But that's what I was trying to say. I remember we had this debate a long time ago, but we were talking about 6ix9ine, right? And just some of his like financial issues. And that's the nature of artists. The artist sees themselves as the center of the universe, and when money comes in, they feel they should get like 95%, and everybody else, especially when they get to a certain point. Right? When they get to a certain point. Cole Crawford has a point. She has 8 million followers. She's hot as fish grease. Right now, she's probably looking like, I don't need these niggas. I only turn the music to them. What the fuck do they do for me? But that's now. Just like most artists at the peak of their careers, like, what the fuck is going on? But again, that doesn't change what got you there. That's the point.
Okay. While we're on deals, now we got one more question about this. Maybe we can do this one quickly. Akwayne and Neska, I love the show. Can you guys break down for me what a 360 deal is and what are the benefits or negatives of this type of deal?
I'll say it really quick because it could be an all-day question, an all-day answer. But the basic things of a 360 deal is when a company puts up money and they're trying to figure out how they're going to monetize their money back, they take pieces of everything you do. So you're gonna see things that say ancillary income. Ancillary income means like if I drop a New Balance sneaker, if the artist drops a New Balance sneaker or whatever, and you're making money off of it, I'm gonna take some money off of that to go back to me. The problem is that a lot of the ancillary income or these other incomes don't count towards back the money I lent you to make a project. So while an artist can put out, let's say their merchandise is more successful than their music, you could be paying them back. You could probably recoup the money off of merchandise, but it doesn't count as recruitment because they initially invested that money on music. So you just gotta, like I said, if you get a good lawyer, just ask questions. It's really not hard. ask questions, figure it out. Like, but don't like cut yourself off because you hear all these different things. Oh, 360 is the word. A 360 deal might be what you need. But if you feel like you could do something else, then just do it yourself.
Okay.
Straight up.
99% of the artists now, from my understanding, are 360s.
99.
So, which means if you don't come with like a song that's so popping already that you did independently, there's not you a 360. And I had a meeting recently with one of them Silicon Valley. I'm still broke. Silicon Valley high up tech executives, right? And I'm in the music space, and they said that's the most retarded thing about the music space, because they look at artists as companies. They're like that a label they're thinking about investments. They said when we invest in something, we don't give a fuck what any revenue gets shared. So to them, they look at music to say a label invested in artists, and then at times they only share sometimes 1/10 of the income coming in. Everything else goes to the artist.
So it should be split equally?
No.
In their minds?
No. Basically, what they're saying is that an artist is a company.
Right.
A 360 to me means revenue outside of just music will have a split. Because I think that's what scared people often, right? Because they're like, oh, okay, yeah, you get money off my music, but if I sell a sneaker, you don't.
Right.
Everybody else in every industry looks at that to say, that's retarded. Like, so you tell me I get you popping and you go get a sneaker deal because I got you popping and you get all the money off the sneaker deal.
Yeah.
I'm retarded. Like, that's some dumb shit. And I think because of that, that's, Leroy Cohen was really given the, we gave him like pretty much either the flack or the congratulations for introducing to the music business. But every artist now, whether it's, like in Meg Thee Stallion's case, it says a 70-30, which means there's a 70-30 participation on I think it said merch and also touring. But like, whether it's that percentage or it's even like 5%, or maybe it has different clauses that say, hey, if you don't gross this amount, I take nothing. But no company is gonna build up a kid, which these days, hip hop is the most popular genre. We're in the age of social media. A motherfucker with like 50 million followers could probably make a smooth 3 to 4 million yearly without music. Right. There's no company that says you get all of that. We're only caring about the music. Right? I think to Wayno's point, you have to find a lawyer. You have to find someone who could, get those terms correct where you could figure out how it helps you. Right. But no one's gonna get screwed out of that income.
Wow, okay. No one size fits all. Get your legal stuff right. All right, I'm sure more in this. Hopefully they work it out eventually. We saw even Juicy J work it out with his label after dropping that diss record. So maybe they'll solve this, we'll see. In other news, TMZ is reporting that Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, has turned himself into the U.S. Marshals after being indicted for failing to register as a sex offender in California. So he previously served time for this conviction and he was registered in New York, but apparently he moved and did not re-register, which was the problem. He pled not guilty, had to give up his passport, and is reportedly going to wear an ankle monitor and have to stick with a curfew. Another hearing coming up on March 23rd. It seems like Meek might have liked this post on the Shade Room, but then he later said that he would never like something about someone catching a case.
Academics.
I just gotta say, man, think about the kids. That's all I want to say, man. Think about the kids. This is clearly an unfortunate situation, but, again, the law is the law. Listen, I'm only saddened because while I've seen I'm only going on public information. I've seen in the recent months, Nicki Minaj basically use her husband as a bullying figure, someone to intimidate people, whether it's bloggers or other rappers. She's parading them all around, and this is a necessity as per the terms of him being released back into society, regardless of what that case was. So I look at that and I'm like, yo, again, not necessarily it's her fault, but it's very sad that this wasn't taken care of. By the way, it's the second time he's been arrested since November for the same thing. You get me? When the U.S. Marshals is coming in, it means the feds are watching, literally. They're seeing you on Instagram doing a little bit too much, and they're probably saying you haven't registered nowhere. Yes, they're gonna come pick you up. So, he has $100,000 bond, they'll get him out, but maybe instead of all that other bullshit that Nicki got him doing, maybe they could just, get the paperwork right.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't got much to say on this, man. That's just, it's just wild. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot going on. It's definitely a lot going on with that.
Well, Meek definitely liked the pick, Accidentally, though. You do accidentally like picks.
You accidentally like things all the time? Do you then go back and unlike?
Of course.
I've definitely unliked.
I guarantee
I've definitely liked
unliked
some
it.
shit by mistake in my lifetime. But
He was probably reading like, when somebody sends it to me, I thought it was a meme. I was like, nah. So he probably was looking the same, like, nah, say a word. He probably like, he's trying to zoom in. He probably accidentally liked it. I don't think he was like on some petty shit. Like Drake would do that. Like Drake is definitely doing that. But Meek, I don't think he meant to like it, but he definitely liked it.
Okay. So for today, for Hit Brick or Wait on It, we're going to start with Lil Uzi. Finally has some new music out. This song is called That Way. It samples the Backstreet Boys' I Want It That Way. This is the second single from Eternal Atake, if that is still the name. Hit Brick or Wait on It.
Hit. He's the only person that could pull off a fucking Backstreet Boys sample. You know what I mean? I'm excited for Uzi, regardless to all the stuff that he's going through with my friends. You know what I mean? I'm excited for some new music from him. Uzi's a really great artist. He's a really great artist. Like seeing that whole the trailer for Eternal Take, I'm like, he's going all out. So I hope that he doesn't push this album back after all the work that's being put in.
Okay.
But yeah, I say hit for this one.
All right, Ak, is this it?
I wish it was like something in between Wait on It.
Stop. Cut it
But if
out.
I had to pick one, I'm gonna say Hit. But it might be a little bit Wait on. Listen,
It's better than
If-
Fussell Shuffle.
it's better than Full Shuffle, better than Sanguine Paradise, better than That's a Rack, better than New Paddock on My Wrist.
Yeah,
This is, as fans for Uzi, and I said one time, and I think a lot of people think like he might be a little bit scared of the pressure of the moment of delivering, right? This fans want 2016 Uzi badly. Like if they don't get it, it's gonna be a huge disappointment. This was getting to there. So him dropping this track, I thought gave fans great promise. The other stuff, I think visually it made sense. Like Futsal Shuffle, when you watch the trailer, it makes sense.
Yeah, and the trailer
it makes sense. Like he's kind of on this space like abduction type of cool shit. Great. But this particular track is getting there. I'm gonna call it a hit. I'm hoping to hear a lot more like this 2016 Uzi. That's what we need to survive. Okay?
You think the album's coming next couple weeks?
I think it's coming March 13th.
Okay. That's next week.
He said
right?
2 weeks.
Yeah, that's next
Oh,
week.
is he lying?
Wow, it's finally happening. All right, next is Sway Lee, someone said. So this is going to appear on his upcoming solo album, Finally. Hit Brick or Wait on It.
Told me?
Take your time.
Someone said.
Talking to me.
Did we talk about the track already? Did someone say track?
No.
No.
Oh. This track is
Okay,
cool.
well, so I was going to say I could
No,
predict
this track
then.
is cool. It's cool. Like, I mean, I don't know, like.
No high hopes for a Sway Lee album, solo?
No, I do.
We've wanted this for a long time.
No, I do. The thing with Sway Lee is that I'm used to such big sounding records that have dominated like just Billboard for like times and times and over. So like I look at this as cool.
Yeah, Sway Lee, pause, but stop teasing, man. Like for real. Like, but the record, it kind of starts off slow, but there's like a beat change in the middle that, and he starts like going up on his vocals. I do like it, but I'm like, that's not the Sway Lee joint for the album. Like I think these is just like little appetizer records to throw out. You know?
Play off that Travis Scott, that Astro World single with Single Mode.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, next one is Rod Wave. Why can't I speak today? Rod Wave, Thief in the Night. We got a video for this as well, directed by Cole Bennett. Hit Brick or Wait on It.
Hey.
Okay.
No, I'm fucking Rod Wave hive, man. I'm super on the Rod Wave bandwagon.
You got to check. Check came in.
Nah, he's dope. He's dope.
Nah, but I just really like this kid, man. I really like this kid, and I enjoyed this record. I think like he just picks up where he left off. Like it's not. I don't think he's in a place where people like, oh, you should change your style. Because as soon as you start having success, they like, what else can you do?
Right.
It's like, nah, I think that he's in a nice place musically where he's at, and I really enjoy this record. I fuck with it. Hit.
I'm gonna call it a hit. Rod Wave, super talented artist. I do believe that, and by the way, I'm proud of Cole too, Cole Bennett.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a type of rappers he usually does videos for or give visuals to. And to see him with Rod Wave, definitely a change. And I think this execution was pretty good. So, the Rod Wave train has been steadily accelerating. I think it won't stop.
Yeah, and you have an open invite to come on the show whenever you're ready.
Absolutely.
We would love to have you. Our last song for Hit Brick or Wait on It is Joel Santana. This one's with Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz, and Belly, Boiling Water from the Free Santana mixtape. Wait, no.
I mean, on paper, I like it, and sonically, I like it, but it's dated. Like, it sounds like an old record that Joel's never put out. I mean, this is, you know, he's locked up, and it's kind of like, what's the word, posthumous? That's how you say it?
Posthumous is like after.
Yeah.
Posthumous is after death.
After death, but you know, not saying that at all in Joel's case. It's just that I don't like to hear music from artists that are not here to represent it, because I feel like this is something that he just had for a long time, and then they just put it out. I mean, it's good, but it just sounds dated to the time, you know. But it's cool overall.
Makes sense.
Antiquated. That's what the word you're probably looking for.
Antiquated. Okay.
Old. Listen, man. You know, we heard a long time ago the joint Joel's and Wayne
Can't Feel My
project.
Face.
Yeah. And when you listen to this track, you like, I came from that session. I try to like, bring it up to speed, but he didn't really do it. Again, the execution's a little bit off because, of where he is currently. I'm gonna go with Brick, honestly. I hate to say Brick just because of the names associated with it, but I don't see this one connecting.
All right. How about Fast Break? We're going to highlight an artist that we think is worth watching right now. Lil Got It. He's 20 years old from Atlanta. So he's had a few standout records, including The Real Hood Babies Now and Brotherly Love with Lil Keed. He started dropping music back in 2017. Him and Lil Keed, his brother, released their tape together called Super Squid. In 2018, he dropped another project, his debut album called Hood Baby via Alamo Records. Gunna was featured on that. 2019, 2 more mixtapes, Crazy But It's True and The Real Goat. And then this February, he dropped another project called Superstar Creature, executive produced by London on the track. He cited Young Thug as an influence before. What do you guys think of Lil Got It?
I really like him. I think he's one of the new school of rappers, like out of ATL, that's, trying to carve out his own lane. Like at first glance, you're probably gonna say and chalk him up with like, yo, you sound like a lot of these type rappers, but like seeing him, he has a recent track, I forgot the name of it, but I think there's a video, it's like fire. And just kind of seeing, he's younger than everybody else we're discussing, at least of that sound. And I'm just watching him kind of, trying to separate himself from the pack. He has a few songs that's moving, and I think that, like in the next like 6 months to a year, he's like literally, even though everybody's one song away, he's maybe one tape away, just like how we had Keed with the Long Live Mexico joint. I think he's literally that away from, having a more significant presence coming from the South.
Yeah, I think like I think he's dope. The thing I like about the space that he's in, everybody that he's around, they on some each one teach one shit. So it's like you see them kind of passing like the creative torch amongst the group. It's like, Thugger has it, then he passes it along to Gunna, then it's Key, then it's Got It, you know what I mean? And I think that that's gonna keep happening. He's dope. Like when I think about him, it reminds me of Thug a lot and that's just the influence he's around. He's in the stew with him. If you're around Thug, you probably gonna pick up some shit. The Superstar Creature joint is pretty heavy. I love seeing London on the track jumping into executive produce shit because it's not just him giving his beats. It's him giving like tutelage. I'm pretty sure he's vocal producing them. And I like what they doing, so salute to Got It.
I think a little incubation system is good.
Absolutely.
All right, so today's big facts or BS, this one's a little bit random, but curious what you guys have to say, is courtesy of Young Dolph. He says, real hustlers don't have a plan B because if you make a plan B, you didn't really believe in your plan A. We stay down with whatever we believe in and make it happen.
Big facts. There's an interview I did like with my homegirl like years ago. I think it was like 2012. I did this interview and I said that I didn't have a plan B because a plan B is a seed for failure. When you have a plan A, and people always, they always use this superstitious shit. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, spread them around. All that's bullshit. Like, I believe in like having a target and a goal and going dead at it and not distracting myself with another plan because I'm already setting up in my mind, all right, this don't work, let me do that. So I'm gonna give that shit my all. Now, if that doesn't work, then I'll create something else to do. But I like plan A's, no plan B's.
Okay, Act, did you have a plan B?
This is bullshit. I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
Because a lot of times plan A might be your ultimate goal and maybe the thing you want to do the most, but a lot of times plan B is what keeps you to survive. And, you know, while, like, for example, there could be a dude right now. Life gets in the way of your dreams all the time. And that plan B will keep you afloat that you could still chase plan A. Okay, it's not either or. It's not either or.
So is it like plan A1 or 2?
I'll give you an example. Like, this is a nigga right now who want to be a rapper or want to be a basketball player or football player. And if that's all he's focusing on, okay, now for 3 to 4 years, it's cool. Then he gets a kid, gets another kid. He's now 25. He got other life responsibilities. You keep chasing that plan A, you're going to be a fucking bum. If it doesn't pan out. If it doesn't pan out. Sometimes, like, you have to have multiple things going on.
But you also don't want to be a jack of all trades and master of none. So what I say is, there's not really there's not no real plan Bs for hustlers. That's what he said. And what he's speaking about is coming from the street.
Okay, maybe on the street perspective.
Like, when you coming from the street, like, if you have something that you're going to stick with, you go with that. Like, for myself, for all the years I wasn't making no money in music, I don't have no trades, I don't have a diploma, nothing. So it's like, I had to make this shit work. Me having kids, honestly, I didn't put my dreams to the side for my kids. Fortunately enough, it worked. It cut, you know what I mean? Like, because I could have ended up being a bum, you know what I mean? But I did not put my dreams to the side for my kids. I focused on my dreams and I went after that shit relentlessly because I knew that this was the only thing that I had that was going to put me in a position to take care of them forever. So I'm all plan A. Ak is plan A through Z. Fine.
It's like the outline, plan A with the 1, 2, 3, so you have like some...
Listen, I just know some grown men who they're past their prime and they're still chasing rap careers. They're letting their kids starve.
Well, it's not all about rap.
No, it's not only rap. No, yeah. I know a real nigga who I'm cool with. He's chasing a dream of being an athlete, and it's a little bit past that. Like, that plan A is done now. Yeah. You get me? Now,
careers in entertainment, though, are like in a whole different realm, right? Unfortunately, it's not like, I'm going to go to school for an engineer, I'm going to keep working so I get promoted. It's different.
But when people hear plan A's and plan B's, like, they usually think, like, it's these pipe dreams of, like, I'm going to be a ball player, I'm going to be this, like, great actor, I'm going to be, like, this rapper. And with those, the odds are so low that you could be like I don't want to necessarily use 2 Chainz, but you could be a rapper that blows up in your 30s, right? But you gotta do something to maintain life.
Well, we're not talking about not being able to pay your bills. Like, that's
what some of these niggas take from it.
That's what I'm saying. That's a whole nother. See, I don't believe
some of these niggas. Oh man.
See, while I did have a plan A, I did do what I had to do to be able to keep my lights on and be able to eat, right? But I'm talking about, like, having that goal, like, you know what I mean? Like, now I don't believe in having a plan A and you like, man, this is it. Like, I'm not gonna do anything.
You should still have a survival plan.
Yeah, you should have things that you do, but I think
I'm talking to y'all rappers who be messaging me on SoundCloud links and your baby mama taking care of you, your son or your daughter's in the next room crying because you in there recording whack raps.
Like 6'9".
And no.
That's right.
Recording whack raps and you're like 29, like. At least get a job and you can still pursue it. You got to make time. I just know with me, once I saw them bills from Sally Mae that said, bro, you owe $130,000. I couldn't say fuck all that plan B shit to get a job. I'ma just keep grinding this internet shit. I'm like, nigga, I went to Verizon Wireless and worked a full-time job. Then I went home and worked a full-time job.
So I guess we could say this: you could keep squarely focused on your plan A, but just have a survival.
Don't be a bummer.
Have a survival plan. I think that's just what you're saying. Yeah, you still got to pay the bills and take care of things, but you can still be like determined to reach the goal. Unless you're trying to be a rapper and athlete, you got to know when to just call it at some point.
Plan
right?
A. Everybody didn't go to college academics. Plan A.
It's not about college, Wayne. Stop trying to college shame us.
I'm not college shaming, but I'm a successful high school dropout. I can't.
No, but I'm telling you when life hit me. Like, life ain't hit me with 3 babies crying in the crib and like.
Why the babies always gotta be crying?
They crying. They starving.
I guess terrified of pregnancy. That's what we learned earlier today.
Anytime you talk about babies, think about like you in the room going hard and the babies in there screaming because they hungry and ain't got nothing.
For me, I could have been like, all right, let me just ignore some shit. I just seen. I said, what bill is this? Oh hell nah. I'm gonna do this shit on a different shit.
I can't wait till you're a father. I can't wait to see the change, the academics rebrand. It's gonna be amazing.
He's gonna be a good father.
He's gonna be a great dad.
Whenever that is, like when I'm like 40, like my kid's gonna be spoiled. Like I endured a lot for them, sleepless nights, hennied out sessions. Like, I'm gonna make sure they're
You
spoiled.
put Henny in their bottle.
They could go back and watch the whole rest.
Yeah, I'm trying to have my kids get raised like the Combs. Like they look spoiled.
Where they have duck grease instead of like chicken grease, whatever she said.
Yeah.
I want them to be spoiled like that, yo.
Nah, it's worth it. You worked hard for it. All right, guys.
Gassing him up.
That's our show for today.
That should be the goal for everybody. You don't want your kids to be like that?
My kids.
They look
My kids are so spoiled. What?
Wayno told me that the whip he's driving, his kid's driving another whip. This nigga Wayno, man. I won't even say the car. Actually, it's a Cybertruck. I can spill it.
My kids is OD spoiled. But, yeah.
Well,
I just wanted to see what would happen at the end. Guys,
I can't wait to see you with kids.
Thank you for watching Everyday Struggle.
God.
Send us your fan questions on Twitter with 2Gs. We'll see you on Monday. Can you imagine me
Good Thursday,
being
man.
pregnant on Everyday Struggle?
See you on Monday. Stay safe.